Howdy, Aggs. I am just now making it out of Kyle Field on my way out of Aggie Land at the moment. What a game. Blackout. The blackout game was as advertised. Great to go get a huge win in that kind of environment on multiple fronts for multiple reasons. The experience in person was just phenomenal, and I have never had so much fun, albeit a really frustrating first quarter, right? Where to start with this game? Your Ags are 5-0, right? I know Elko made a big deal about being 4-0. We haven't been 5-0 probably since 2016 as well, when we went 6-0 that year. So this is another game in this whole series of this idea of, we can win one, but can we win two? And now we've won three. And it was ugly at first. And so I'm like, okay, good. We're going to, hopefully we can still win another ugly game. But if we do, that definitely leaves some questions. If you watched, one of my other videos from this week, I pointed out that things may not, go our way, or things could go awry if we continue to have to win one possession games, because it just takes one play. I mean, there was a point at which I think about the middle of the third quarter, it was still 10-7 or whatever it was, 10-3. And I was thinking it's just going to take one play for this to kind of get out of hand, or for them to make it this game. It was 7-3, I think. And so if they had gotten a touchdown, it'd be 10-7, and our offense can't really generate much at the moment. So a team can go out and do something like that. Even at the time, we had double the total yards they had. And so it can take literally one play to win those kinds of games. But they ended up just completely taking control of the game. I think some way like mid third quarter, late third quarter. And I was wondering, are they just going to wear this team down? We keep running the ball, we keep running the same kind of, two tight end set. We're just going to keep on doing this and keep plowing away at it. And we did, and it was very frustrating in the very beginning. But maybe it was some sort of mastermind kind of plan, although I am not going to co-sign or endorse that right now, just because, unless they're going to attribute it to Elko in some way. We definitely had a Colin Klein 2024 situation rear its head on the goal line down there, right? Running it 5 times right up the middle. You could tell how mad I was about that play, because I am so hoarse from yelling at this game. Yeah, so there's definitely areas to work on, even though we really just kind of BTA'd that, right? We BTA'd that. We sent Mississippi State home. And I feel, here's the thing. I made a deal about this the other night. This was last night. I did the pod, just kind of giving some around the SEC takes and, final thoughts on Mississippi State. I think I can only recall one other person that took the Aggs to cover. Now I had them 35-20. That was my predicted score. And I even mentioned last night that I would come off of that for a couple reasons, but then I was like, no, I'm going to stick with it, because I think we're going to put a few things together. Now, we didn't put everything together until the third quarter, middle of the third, okay? First and second, it was, first was frustrating, second was better, but not a lot, and then third, it took a couple of drives. So I feel ecstatic about that we covered. I think it started at 14.5, ended up at 15.5. And that's a big statement. That's a big, big statement to cover that kind of thing. No one thought we could cover that. Heck, even Nick Saban took Mississippi State to win, and he was not alone. There were a few others, not on game day. Everyone took A&M except for Nick. And I just kind of love getting one on him. Anytime you can, don't you? Oh, Nick, man, I'm so happy that you're in retirement, man. But leave the game calling to us, okay? Anyhow, so I'm ecstatic about that. Some other things just to kind of really emphasize in this game. First and foremost, Cassius Howell, 3 more sacks. I can't wait to get home and check the stats on this guy. he's got to be up there close to leading the nation in sacks with another game like this. Man possessed, absolute man possessed. And another low key guy to mention, and it's not another one. I mean, Howell's is high profile as it comes for this team right now, but Sanford is making a huge impact. Sanford is. He had 1 sack himself. He is all over the field. The guy plays like a veteran. He looks like he is almost a carbon copy of York. And that is really good news for this team. Really good news. This defense, the biggest surprise for me in this game is I feel like we can finally come away with saying this defensive line has arrived. They had the most questions coming into the season. Could they get replace the 3 guys that left? Could they get a pass rush? We thought Howell could, but what about the others? I mean, you can't just have one guy. You're going to have at least 2 because they'll just chip him, right? I mean, you got to have versatility so they can't double team somebody. And between Regis and Hicks and Onyedem, even Kennedy getting on the mix, these guys are, I think, my most surprising position group at this point. If not another group, the second closest one to this, which I think is what's making everything tick right now, is our cornerback play. They are able to play basically on an island, and that just frees up the safeties to do so much, to play downhill into the box so that we can continue playing that rush defense that we have. I think they had 74 rushing yards? It was something dumb. I mean, they barely had over 200 yards total offense. I think we were 471. That's really good. A couple turnovers by Mississippi State. We had more penalties. The penalties were better, but we've still got to make some headway in this. We're going to play some other games that are going to be difficult. Florida coming up, looks like they've got a little bit of life in them. Just beat Texas today. Yeah. So they might do a little something, but we'll see. But it's good to see how well this defense is playing, because defense is going to travel on the road, and we're going to have a 3-game road stretch. Death Valley, we're going to go to Missouri, we're going to go to Arkansas, right? We got to go to DKR. And if this defense is playing like this, they're going to allow us to be in a lot of games. So, Reed getting it done. How about Ruben Owens? 140 yards, I think, from this guy. Maybe I'm overstating it. I think he was just over 100, something like that. But huge game. Le'Veon Moss just kind of, I guess, gets a little nicked. And they're kind of going away from him. But Ruben is just constantly sitting on home run shot. It feels like every play he is almost about to break one. And he's definitely going to. He broke some. He didn't house one, of course, but it was close. Craver and KC both did their thing. These 2 guys they're phenomenal, y'all. Yeah, I mean, I know you know this, but it just, how many times are you gonna have to say it? The ways that they're contributing to this team they're just unmatched. Stuff that we just haven't had in forever. Keeping all this excitement down, trying to drive and give you this collect all my thoughts is incredible. Moss, like I said, still good quality game. He's a dog. He just is. Marcel Reed did what he had to do in this game, right? Not his best game. Mississippi State, to their credit, I think is a better team than I thought that they were, just to watch them play. I thought that Tennessee probably played not their highest level, or that Mississippi State got up real high for that game and was going to have trouble getting back up to that level. I don't think they did have any trouble getting back up to that level. I think their effort was there, physicality was there. Just besides being stifled by our defense and their offensive line having some issues. I mean, we did have at least 4 sacks, 9 TFLs. They played a good game, and their strength is probably their defense. I mean, they are really good. They are really good on the backside. So very impressed with them. They are, again, like I said last night on my pod, my most surprising team so far around the SEC, because I had them so low, and so many others did right at the early in the year. So big surprise out of them. Mississippi State, if you're watching this, man, I know the score. It's kind of like last week when we played Auburn. Score's close. We really beat their BTA. Okay, this week score is far away, and I think we handled Mississippi State. I for sure do. But the eye test and the level at which they played, I think is a really good high point for them. So I'll leave you standing with that, Mississippi State. I'm not here to disrespect you in any way. Just call the shots like I see them, and that's what I think. So phenomenal game. We're 5-0, and on the way. I'm halfway to it. I had a prediction that Woodland's Aggie was going to post 5 no huddles, and there's already going to be some controversy over this because he couldn't really post the one for the Notre Dame game. He did post it, so I'm going to count it, but they made him take it down, right? But that's 5 no huddles from him so far, and I've got him putting out 10 this year. So we got 5 more to go, one way or another somehow. Final thing I'm going to say is I haven't had so much fun with the Twitter game until tonight. If you didn't get a chance to go over there and see what was going on Twitter, that was fun. I'll try and get my handle over in the description, but definitely going to be some tickets given away, because I put out there that if anybody picked the exact attendance, I'd give away my tickets to A&M versus Texas next year. I don't think anybody hit it yet, but there were a lot of people that were insanely close, crazy close how that rolled out, and just enjoying all the people that were involved in it, getting to meet new people. I could care less about the followers and the subs. Y'all know how I am about that. I met and conversed with so many people, and so many people that I'm going to have just a beer with, because there was part of that along with it if they were with in 100 or something. So that's going to happen. I can't wait. So here I am hitting Highway 6. It runs both ways, and this time I'm traveling home with the Aggies getting a W. And so I'm going to sign off. This is Aggie Central from College Station. We'll see you for the Florida preview. Thanks and gig 'em.